Alright, welcome to Tibalt Apprentice. We're going to be looking at the Draftsmith. We're going through a draft using the Draftsmith here. Might be a little loud in the background, sorry about that. As you can see, it gives you ranking on all the cards. Now, my problem is I'm continually torn when I go to draft because I simply draft for rares, trying to fill out the set. Since so many changes have been made to the arena economy, I am less and less likely to actually getting a full set of cards. So I need to sharpen my drafting skills. Luckily with Draftsmith, you can get hints as to which cards are most efficient. However, you are still going to have to make a deck at the end of this. So you see me picking the 30s and 40s initially, but at this point, about 3-4 picks in, I start to look and see which cards I am still missing for my set and drafting for those. This is probably costing me games in the long run, but it's also filling out my collection at this point. At this point, I have to kind of choose my colors. At this point, I've already kind of chosen black. We started out with a strong black presence. I often am drawn to black power at any cost, and sometimes I tend to go against what the suggestions are. The idea of getting lands that let me get any kind of color during the game is good. What am I trying to decide here? I stalled out. There we go, black and red. I like Rakdos. Again, I'm going to look at this, see how many I have, and fill it out. This is why we're doing a double speed. We're almost there. I only like to do quick drafts because I like to be able to drop them and resume later on. I don't want to get caught into something I can't always invest that much time. Let's see what we have here. Alright, so yeah, we're shaping up to have a fair to midland deck. Could be Orzhov, could be black and white, could be Rakdos. Again, look at each one. There's a small counter that tells you how many you already have in your collection. You can get gems for those that you don't, or duplicates that you get, but I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about filling out the collection. A 40, a solid 40, but it's in green. What's this? Look at that. Again, go for the land. Mana fixing is always good. I know you're supposed to follow the acronym BREAD as you draft. Do your bombs, rares. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously don't follow that. And my score reflects that. Yeah, we're getting down to the last part of it here. The nice thing about Draftsmith is it also allows you to not only choose the best or the strongest picks as far as cards, but it helps you build your deck. It will give you suggestions, at least 3 suggestions usually, for how to build the deck. As you see, you simply go in, knock out the cards that are unnecessary, put in the appropriate lands, and at that point you should reach, say I'm missing something here, you should look for a green check down there by the anvil. And what am I missing? I'm still missing something. Alright, let's look up here at the top. Does it say one of these should be added? I see a green up there by the land. I of course see this the second time, not when I was doing it. So I struggle through every single card trying to find out what's the missing thing. And then I decide, wait, what was weird up here? This? Okay, I'll throw that in. Nope, completely wrong. Going to go through and take everything out again. And again, what you're doing is just following. If you're going to do this mindlessly, you just do this by the checks. It tells you what to take out. Look up at the top part of the screen afterwards, and I'll eventually come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, there's that green thing. Let's scroll down. It will tell us that we need a land. Follow the green dots. That's all you really need to do. Somewhere there has to be a suggestion of what to put in there. And there it is. Finally, we got to it. Let's do a quick draft now, or rather a quick game. Let's see how it plays out for us. Alright. Opponent goes first. Alright. I didn't have a first turn play, but again, I figured that I could draw into it. Draft tends to go a little bit slower, but not always. It's good to have a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop all the way through, but mid-game is where I really find that it makes a difference. Being able to add mana should put me a little ahead of the curve. An instant. Better get some creatures on board. We're not going to attack with that yet. We're going to rely on combat tricks. Alright. Cut down, I like it, but I don't love it. It's nice, but a lot of things add up to 5 or more very quickly. Not really sure why they took the mana, but, you know, last act of Defiance, I guess that's what it is. Let's fill out the board. Alright. The biggest and hardest issue that I have playing Draft is I have to go slow. I have to play slow, I have to play cautiously, and it just is not in my nature. So, with that in mind, trying to build up some kind of a board presence to then push through. Play this with a kicker? Yeah. More land on board. Alright. Unfortunately, we're keeping pace with their creatures to my creatures. So, we'll have to see who makes the first move. Just a race to build up at this point. Alright, being able to draw, it's pretty expensive for a draw spell. And they go for it also. It is a mana sink mid-game, mid to late game. Again, don't do anything until the very last minute. Card draw is always good. And like I said, card draw is always good. A lot of things you're going to find useful in drafting that you're not going to find useful in actual play. Standard play later on. Historic play. Whatever. This is a problem. Gonna have to be a creature, can't be a land. Well, I think this is going to be where I lose horribly. Alright, let's cut down their board a little bit. Alright. Ouch. Yeah, so like I said, it's really a mid-range game. Drafting. It's important to have your 1 to 2 drops, but mid-range is where you really see the majority of what's going on. Alright, well, I've got creatures to sack. What's the thing? Yeah, let's get rid of that. And let's just go ahead and wait. Yeah, those lands will be the death of me. Keep that in mind when you're drafting. Anything that gives flying or any kind of evasion, probably a good idea. That's a nice little combat trick. Get them to waste their removal. But still, we are so far behind because of those flyers. It's not looking good. Sacrifice another creature for that. Let's just swing in with this. And they take it. Alright. Yeah. The fact they can do another 6 in the air leaves them in a very good place. At any rate, I think you can see where this game is going. But I thought it was important to actually take a look at the Draftsmith, and you could determine whether or not that's worth the $30 $40 for 6 months. I'll actually have to include a link to where you can find this, and you'll have to decide whether it's worth it for you. Alright. You can at least get rid of one of those flying lands. It's a little late in the game to worry about it. So, we'll just swing in with a couple of things. And yeah, there's nothing I can do. Oh, they have combat tricks of their own. Well, that's going to be a problem. Let's draw a card. Get everything we can out of the deck before it's time to concede. Alright, so anyhow, thanks for watching. Thank you to the new subscribers. And I hope this was in some way helpful.